not only does it encompass the 8 domains of the WHO age-friendly cities model 2007, but also a ninth domain, which is finance. And as we know, without money, you're not able to buy food, you're not able to pay bills, purchase transport tickets, etc. So I'll quickly go through this because I know time's short. This is the Dutch version. There are multiple languages, including English, but what is missing at the moment is a Hindi version. And I know my colleagues who've created this tool in the Netherlands are very much interested in expanding this work across India. And what you can see on the second sheet is red to green columns. And when data is analysed, let's say you've got a particular city, the red means that it's a priority, that it's important, and the local municipality or government need to maybe potentially address that within their strategic priorities. The green columns, or if it was green on your respective data, that means that the residents who've completed that the survey are very much happy with what is already underway. What are the benefits to the AFCCQ? Well, up until this point of this tool being created and validated, there was no measure for AFC at all in the world. Majority of studies have focused qualitatively, and as we know with qualitative data, it's very subjective. Can it be reproduced and compared to other towns and cities? It also affords municipalities, government officials, policymakers, stakeholders, key insights into the actual needs and priorities of the residents. It's also validated for intergenerational use. I recently validated it in English across the UK via an online survey, and that was for adults from the age of 18 to 65 plus. And I also believe Russia has validated it, and Japan, and intergenerational also was shown positively in the validation process. But what is nice about this tool is for communities that are signed up to the global network of age friendly through the WHO, they're supposed to do evaluations and provide evidence within their respective profiles. And this can afford local services to demonstrate how they are achieving age friendliness. And as we should keep in mind, age friendliness is not just about older people. There's younger people as well, there's families, there's people who are aging without children. Here are just some photos. It's already been mentioned about accessibility, and from a tech perspective, accessibility, usability come hand in hand together. But this is Pontefract. This is one of the train stations in my hometown. There is no elevator, no real accessible access for people who require it. This is Milton Keynes. We have some EV charging points. There's a safety element here because the red way, the pathway, is a way if somebody was being assaulted or being mugged, nobody would see that. This is Stony Stratford, close to Milton Keynes, again, different high streets. Milton Keynes does not have a high street, it just has a shopping mall. But again, the pavements are very different. You'll see in one photo, the pavement is very short, so you can't actually get a pushchair down there or a wheelchair. This is Middlesbrough, where I currently live. It's in the northeast of England. It's one of the most deprived areas in England outside of London. And you can see from the pavements, we've got lights, we've got bubbles near the road to help people who are vision impaired. We have plenty of seating in Middlesbrough. This is where the university is, and this is all pedestrianised. but we also have a main road, and we've had a recent cycle lane installed about 2 or 3 years ago. And that cycle lane is now going to be removed at a cost of £4.5 million because it disrupts the shopping aspect. There's some issues with the bollards on the road. People have tripped up, hurt themselves. But most importantly, you'll see the bus in this next photo. If there was an emergency and an ambulance or a police car was having to dash down this road and the bus was there and there was blockage further down because there's another bus stop, that emergency vehicle cannot get through where it needs to get through. And that's all because of the cycle lane and encroaching into the road. I wrote a paper back in 2019 with my colleague, Professor Joost van Hoof, and we critically explored why the AFC model by the WHO did not include technology. And that paper is open access, but I just wanted to kind of share with you where technology relating to the 8 domains does align and should have been considered during its development process 20 years ago. There has been no updates regarding the AFC model to reflect contemporary experiences of technology as well as intergenerational. One thing I want to draw on, and it may or may not be relevant here, but I think in a smart cities context, we need to just be mindful. And of course, in Western society, that's becoming more prevalent with people who are aging without children for whatever reason or reasons. But certainly in the UK, there's issues surrounding care and who's going to care for older people. But it's also younger generations, people in their 40s who are choosing not to have children, whether that's because of finance or infertility. And this is a growing area of research, certainly in the UK. And if you wish to know more, there's some links there, but I can also send you those links privately. We've already mentioned digital literacy, and with any type of technology, whether it's for younger people or older people, we need to keep around how do they learn, how do they access. And this particular project looks at older people who are on low incomes with limited or no experience of technology. And we created this icon booklet because we realized in workshops that many of the older people did not understand the icons in their phones. And this booklet was created and published in English as well as Welsh. And this was during COVID, but it gives an idea, and we've shared it with many stakeholders across the UK, and they've shared it with older residents or their support and care networks, and they've found it very useful. We're familiar with other models. I've just mentioned about the 2019 paper, and you can see on the right-hand side a proposed framework that hasn't been validated. It does need to be validated. But what is important about science and evidence-based research and literature together, like with working with stakeholders, is to push these narratives. We need to push discourse. We should not be sitting around talking in echo chambers. We're familiar with the Fulmer model, which is 2020. But again, what is surprising and very disappointing is technology has not been recognised here. This other model is by me and other colleagues. Again, it hasn't been validated, but we've looked at accessibility. We've considered sustainability and environmental factors and taken an intergenerational approach, as well as incorporating the 8 domains, plus how different types of technology can be woven into the city. You may be familiar with the Dementia-Friendly Cities model published by the WHO in 2021. There is a report out, and in that report, it unfortunately and disappointingly, it doesn't know how this model or this framework was created or whether it's even been validated. There's very little literature, but in Google and in journals, there is a lot of literature about DFCs. But again, this framework doesn't incorporate technology. And if we're looking down the dementia-friendly cities route together with smart technology or smart cities, we need to evidence and demonstrate how literature and science work together. Before I finish, I just wanted to share with you a few books that may be of interest. And one of the chapters here, it's actually chapter 12, but here it's number 11. Myself and colleagues, we explore the creation of the WHO framework and through the lens of finance and whether finance was ever considered. Because as I noted earlier, finance is important. Without money, we can't get very far in life. Some of you may be interested, it's already been mentioned about universal design and co-production. And this particular book provides a manifesto, but there's several chapters which look at the use of technology through the broader lens, but also through stakeholders such as Age Northern Ireland and people with learning disabilities during COVID. And in this edited book, there's some chapters about surveillance and privacy and things like that. And we need to, and I think that's on the programme for later today, we need to keep in mind, surveillance techniques, we may have cameras in our streets, but what's the challenges and the relationship with residents and visitors and tourists. So just a few thoughts for the future. We do need to push the boundaries of our narrative. It's no good staying in our own echo chambers. And based on existing literature, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. If we can build on it, that's brilliant. But full literature search is pivotal. It's already been mentioned about other disciplines. This type of work and what we've been talking about today, it is inter and multi cross-disciplinary. And one of the things there is language. We've got co-production, co-creation, then we've got participatory design, the latter generally used in HCI computer science. So, getting used to those different minor language technicalities is important. But also to look at what are the benefits to the residents or to the society, not just now, but also in 5, 10, 50 years' time. We have to have multi-stakeholder buy-in and collaboration. But there's no harm in taking a risk. We must take risks if we're to truly meet these expectations and for our communities and towns, cities to thrive for another several decades. Thank you so much.